Well, y'all, Time Magazine named Caitlin Clark the Athlete of the Year, and she made some comments in her interview that Lord has driven white MAGA out of their mind.
Anyway, Time Magazine also chose WNBA superstar Caitlin Clark as their Athlete of the Year. But, okay, here's the problem. A lot of conservatives are having a fit over her.
It has taken the WNBA almost 28 years to get to the point where we are now. And this year, something clicked with the WNBA, and it's because of the draft of the players that came in. It's just not Caitlin Clark, it's Reese. We have so much talent out there that has been unrecognized, and I don't think we can just pin it on one player.
There has been, this phrase has been couched, hasn't it? The Caitlin Clark effect. Why do you think that has been the case?
Well, I want to be very diplomatic about this. It's just the structure of the way media plays out race. I'm going to be very honest. I feel really bad because I've seen so many players of color that are equally as talented, and they never got the recognition that they should have. And I think right now, it is time for that to happen. So last night, we read Time Magazine, where Caitlin Clark was named Athlete of the Year. Why couldn't they?
It's a strange thing to experience two completely opposite emotions at the same time. To be able to both believe something wholeheartedly and yet, somehow, also not believe it at all. That's exactly where I found myself when I saw Washington Mystics co-owner Sheila Johnson's comments about Caitlin Clark during her appearance on CNN. If you missed it, there's no need to guess what she meant or try to interpret hints. She said it outright. Johnson questioned why the entire WNBA couldn't be on the cover instead of just one player. Not a figurative suggestion, not a subtle nudge. She literally asked why the spotlight couldn't be spread across the league. Her remarks opened a window into something deeper, a simmering tension that doesn't just exist between two individuals but reflects broader, longer-standing divisions within women's basketball. Behind the bright lights of WNBA arenas and the promotional campaigns celebrating its growth, there are real and sometimes uncomfortable debates about who gets credit for that growth, how recognition should be distributed, and whether the focus on individual stars helps or hurts the league. These debates aren't new, but they've rarely been as public as they are now. The WNBA, approaching its 28th anniversary, has traveled a long and challenging road to reach the level of popularity it currently enjoys. For years, its progress has been incremental, slow, steady, and often overshadowed by men's sports. But something about this season feels different. The surge of attention isn't the result of just one factor, but many, including an impressive draft class that brought in not only Caitlin Clark but also other outstanding talents like Angel Reese. These fresh faces arrived with both elite skill and massive fan followings, breathing new life into the league and attracting new eyes to the game. Still, no matter how much the WNBA's growth has been a team effort, Caitlin Clark's arrival has been undeniably impactful. Her success was recognized in a huge way when she was named Time Magazine's 2024 Athlete of the Year, a milestone that resonated far beyond basketball and was celebrated as a triumph for women's sports in general. Many saw the honor as well-deserved, acknowledging her record-shattering performances at the college level, her immediate effect on WNBA ticket sales and television ratings, and the way she captured the attention of casual sports fans who hadn't watched a women's game in years, if ever. But the reaction wasn't universally positive. Some detractors questioned whether giving Clark such an individual accolade was the right move when so many other players, past and present, had contributed to the league's growth without receiving anywhere near the same recognition. That's where Sheila Johnson stepped in with her public comments. She wasn't shy about voicing her view that the award could have been used to highlight the WNBA as a whole rather than singling out one player. To be fair, the Mystics haven't exactly been a headline-dominating franchise in recent years. Their last big moment in the spotlight came in 2019, when Elena Del Don led them to their first and only championship. Since then, they've been more middle of the pack, dealing with injuries and roster changes. Johnson's remarks then hit a nerve for some fans who felt she wasn't in the best position to critique Clark's visibility when her own team had benefited directly from Clark's star power. In fact, 31% of the Mystics' total attendance for the year came from just 2 games, both against Clark's Indiana Fever, what Johnson may have intended as a call for unity within the league instead reignited a recurring argument in women's sports. Does focusing on one megastar lift the entire league, or does it risk overshadowing everyone else? Her comments quickly became a national talking point, covered by sports outlets and mainstream news alike. Ironically, it became one of the most widely discussed WNBA stories in recent memory, proving, in a way, the very point about media attention that Clark's supporters have been making. Clark's on-court performances have been explosive and magnetic, blending elite skill with undeniable charisma. She has a flair for the dramatic, deep three-pointers, clutch plays, moments that make highlight reels go viral. Her presence in the WNBA is unlike anything the league has experienced in years, perhaps ever. There's never been a women's basketball player in recent times who has been so polarizing and so talked about, drawing both fervent fans and sharp critics. And whether you love her or question the hype, there's no denying she has people watching. Her being named Athlete of the Year wasn't just about her statistics. It was about the cultural shift she's helped create. Ticket sales have surged, viewership numbers have climbed, and the league is appearing in conversations that reach far beyond sports-specific circles. To Johnson's credit, she did clarify that her issue wasn't with Clark personally but with the broader way women's sports are covered. She stressed that promoting the league as a whole, highlighting the full roster of talent, not just the current face of it, was essential to building sustainable recognition. Johnson's viewpoint resonated with some, especially those who have long argued that players of color in the WNBA haven't received the media attention they deserve despite having equal talent and accomplishments. She noted that she'd watched many such players toil in relative obscurity, their contributions undervalued compared to those of white players who became instant marketing darlings. From her perspective, the problem is less about Clark herself and more about a structural imbalance in sports media that has persisted for decades. Still, Clark's fans countered that her individual achievements are not a threat to the league's collective progress but a catalyst for it. In their view, the visibility she brings benefits everyone by attracting sponsors, media coverage, and casual fans who might then discover and support other players. They see her as a gateway to the sport, not a distraction from it. The truth may be that both sides are right in their own way. The WNBA is undeniably stronger when its stars shine brightly, but it's also stronger when those stars share the spotlight with their peers. The challenge lies in striking that balance, and in making sure the league's growth isn't overly dependent on one person's popularity, but the numbers tell a compelling story. When Clark's Fever came to play the Mystics, the games drew record-breaking crowds. One matchup attracted 14,400 fans, the largest attendance for any WNBA game this season. And this wasn't a fluke, it's part of a consistent pattern wherever she goes. The draw is real, and it's measurable. For the Mystics, even in a losing effort, the game offered exposure they hadn't seen in years. For the league, it's proof of what happens when a single player captures the public imagination. Her playing style is another part of the allure. Clark's range is so deep that defenders have to pick her up as soon as she crosses half court. Her shot mechanics, quick release, high arc, smooth follow-through, are often compared to men's players, not because women can't shoot, but because her form resembles that of the game's elite male marksman. It's a style that translates well to highlight reels and appeals to fans who appreciate pure shooting talent. And yet, for all the praise, Clark has remained careful not to make this about herself alone. In interviews, she consistently credits her teammates, acknowledges the veterans who paved the way, and frames her success as part of a larger movement in women's sports. She understands the league's growth is the result of many players' hard work over many years, and she doesn't pretend otherwise. The clash between Johnson's comments and Clark's reception isn't just about one award or one magazine cover. It's about competing visions for how the WNBA should grow. Should it lean into its superstars and market them aggressively, even if it risks creating disparities in attention? Or should it focus on promoting the league as a whole, even if that means missing opportunities to capitalize on a breakout star's popularity? For now, the debate shows no signs of fading. Every time Clark plays in front of a sold-out crowd, it strengthens the argument that stars are essential for growth. Every time a talented player gets overlooked by the media, it strengthens the argument that the spotlight needs to be shared more fairly. The tension between these truths may be impossible to fully resolve, but it's a sign of the WNBA's progress that these debates are happening on such a large stage. What's clear is that the league has entered a new era. The combination of established veterans, rising rookies, and heightened public interest has created an energy that's hard to ignore. For fans, it's an exciting time. For the players and owners, it's a moment of opportunity and challenge. And for Caitlin Clark, whether she likes it or not, it's a time when her name and face are at the center of a much bigger conversation about the future of women's basketball.